Yes, sir, everybody. Welcome back, man, to another hot episode of Tables, Ladders, and Pod, man. No, you good. Hey, you know what? Look, listen, if y'all want to host and if y'all want to go into the introduction yourself, y'all can. This is y'all show. That's how we pay respect here on Tables, Ladders, Pod.
Hey, man, we ain't trying to take over your base, man. You know.
You know what? Y'all all good with me. Y'all all good with me. If y'all don't know who these guys are, y'all can go back and y'all can look at classic interviews we had before with both of these guys here on Tables, Ladders, and Pod. You got Big Business Levi, you got Wade Simmons right here. These are very entertaining guys. They've been involved in all different types of stuff, movies, wrestling, all different type of things, man. I believe Wade has a documentary that he has to share with us. Big Business Levi got a promotion that he would love to tell us. So it's so many exciting things going on here, y'all. As I know, so I'm here for it, and I'm ready. I'm ready, man. Where do y'all want to start, man?
Well, we can introduce ourselves. So, for those who don't know, I'm Wade Simmons. I trained for pro wrestling for 2 years. I wrestled in high school. Also a filmmaker. Also funeral service worker. Not trying to be like the Undertaker. He did a good job, but hey, I love what I do.
Hey, it's all that's important, man.
And I am the one and only Big Business Levi Maguire. I work as a independent professional wrestling manager in the Chicagoland area, and I'm also an actor. So I've had some of the great repertoires of acting under my belt. I've been in a couple of movies and TV series, and pretty much, man, I'm just enjoying the journey.
Yes, sir. That's all we can do, man. Enjoying the journey and appreciating to smell the flowers along the way, too.
Absolutely.
So I want to start off with you, Wade. When you hit me up, bro, I was like, man, I wonder what was going on with you. I know it's been a while since we talked on here. And man, you've been doing your thing, Wade. Man, both of y'all been doing y'all thing. Much praise to y'all, man. Thank you for blessing me for coming on this podcast today. So what do you got going on, man? Like, what's going on with you now?
Man, I've been up to some of everything. Me and Levi actually had a chance to work on Chicago PD, the television series.
Okay.
So we actually had a chance to meet another wrestler named J Bibbs. So shout out to J Bibbs. But other than that, man, I've been working on my pro wrestling documentary and also just working on getting my funeral director license in California. So
hey, man, bro, kind of
relocating a little bit, doing something a little different. But look, I gotta finish my pro wrestling documentary because that's the whole reason I trained. I was looking to train back in 2021, and instead of training, Bob's like, look, you know what? When you gonna start training? So I'm like, you know what? Why not?
For sure. And you know what? What has inspired you to do this documentary for the guys out there who don't know? Like, what really inspired you to say, hey, I was training for this specific industry and this specific sport and entertainment, and now I want to film it. What made you go that route?
Well, actually, it was because I wanted to do the documentary before I started training.
Right.
And so that's the whole reason why how me and Boz connected. And instead of him letting me do the documentary, he offered to train me. So I'm like, since I wrestled in high school, why not? You know, it was a lot of fun. So I put the documentary on hold, ended up training for 2 years. Now I'm back to it. So I wanted to have it like done like by March, but I ended up needing a little more time. So we've been interviewing different people. We interviewed another guy by the name of Wade, who Levi knows Wade. He did ring announcing at CSW. Another wrestler by the name of Lulu Lorena. She's a dear friend of mine. She's doing her thing here in Chicago. Big Business got a couple of moments in the documentary as well. We had an interview with him, but somehow that's the story for another day. But we got to redo that, Levi.
Right. We'll get a new one. That's really
I can't leave my brother out. You know, can't leave him out.
Oh no, not at all. And Big Business Levi, man, one of the hottest in the game, man. One of the hottest in the game, man. I know you're modest about it, man, but hey, man, tell people, man, you know, what have you been up to, man, since the last time we had spoken? You know,
well, basically, I'm just, you know, still doing my thing with, you know, being as a professional wrestling manager in the Chicagoland area. I'm working with a lot of new young talent. One of them is Jay Biv, who's been with us on Chicago PD together. And me and him, we're getting ready to do something real soon. And that young brother has a lot of talent. So keep your eye on him. And there's a couple other people that I'm working with as well. And, you know, pretty much just, you know, trying to help a lot of young and up and coming talent that is has the high potentials of being well noticed on TV one day. And there's a lot of talent out here. So I'm just, you know, trying to do my thing, but trying to uplift them and put them on. And then I'm doing my thing with acting. Again, like I said, just recently I worked on Chicago PD, and I did the last episode. I believe what is it, season 13? It was the final episode. So got a little bit of screen time, not too much, but the main goal is to get a speaking role. So
for sure,
the Lord see fit, Lord willing, that's the road that I'm heading towards. And pretty much, you know, working with my man Wade, you know, with him being a filmmaker, he's got some things under his belt that he wants to do, and I'm a part of his project. So right now it's top secret. No spoil or anything like that. I can say that me and my man are going to be collaborating on some things, and as for myself personally, I'm working on something as well. So again, I don't want to, you know, put too much out there. It's, you know, top secret, if you know what I mean.
Hey, they always say,
but big one of the things are happening. You know, God is definitely opening up some doors. So I'm looking at the future. Yep.
Well, I would say both of you guys are very talented, man. So I personally can't wait, man, no matter what it is, because I know some fire is coming behind it. So, hey, when y'all know something, you know, you can let me know, you know, so I can know.
We will
communicate it, you know. So
we definitely will.
Yes, sir, man. So one thing I wanted to talk about with you guys today, if you don't mind, I wanted to talk about the idea of legacy, all right, behind the sport of wrestling, man, because that's what we all work for anyway in any industry. But we're here on Tables Out of Some Pie, you know, we talk wrestling, and obviously you guys both got a background. Most recently, I think more in the more recent days, I don't know exactly when it was, but WWE legend Tony Atlas had just came back. He won a title at 72 years old. I'm not sure if y'all are aware of this, but it was amazing. When I heard about it, it was amazing to me. What I would just like to get you guys' take on that.
Honestly, I'm always glad to see people thriving and even people doing things no matter what age they are, because
Yeah,
tomorrow isn't promised to anybody. So
for sure.
if God has blessed somebody to make it to be 70, 80, or 90, and he gives you the grace to continue to do it, why not live your life? I think it's important because we have to also think about the next generation. Like, it's awesome when you can see the older generation of wrestlers put over the younger ones. Even if it's just doing a promo with them, or if it's just accompanying them to the ring or something like that. It's all about building the team effort and all about storytelling and just all about passing the torch, but at the same time still enjoying your life too.
Yes. What's your take?
I think that that's awesome. I mean, again, this is what Wade had said. To be at that age, and if God is still giving you, your good health and the ability to keep doing what you've been doing for decades since when you were in your youth, that is a blessing. And if it wasn't for the old school guys or the old school period, a lot of these young up and comers wouldn't be around today. In a sense, what I mean by that is that it started from the older generation. So it's good that we have the older guys that are, some of them that are still around and help uplift and put the younger generation over, and hopefully that the younger generation will gain a lot of knowledge, which I'm sure they will, because these are the ones that they looked up to. Watching on TV, everybody wanted to be like The Rock, and people grew up doing the watching DX, and well, I can say for the 90s millennials, everybody was doing Suck It at school and getting in trouble and stuff like that. For myself personally,
I'm guilty.
For me personally, since I'm a kid of the 80s, and the 90s was more of the Hulk Hogan era, Ric Flair, but it's good that some of these older guys are still around to help make a difference, and just help the young and up and coming talent, because believe me, and I see it all the time, because I'm working around these young kids. They're hungry, and I'm telling you, they're really hungry. So if they're hungry, you got to feed them, man, and pass the torch.
Like, how do you know? Like, how do you identify that? Like, how do you identify if somebody has that dog in them? Like, I can't, like, so, because if you're looking at somebody the first day, everybody's goal is to be at the top. They want to obviously leave that legacy behind. But who all has that dog in them enough to complete that goal? Like, how do you identify that?
Well, basically, you see the work ethic in practice, as well as in the ring, at the shows. It's all about the work ethic, man. I'm going to use Kobe Bryant, for example. Rest in peace. He had the Mamba mentality. The Mamba mentality was full force. I mean, his work ethic, Kobe's work ethic, was phenomenal. I mean, this was a brother that used to wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Everybody else is still asleep or whatever, and he's out there, working on his game, And by the time people are waking up or getting their day started, he's done. So the hunger, it's the work ethic, listening. You find a person that's quiet and they listen, and they observe. Kind of quote Bruce Lee. Well, he says that they're dangerous, but I wouldn't say, saying in the wrestling terms, not dangerous, but that's a person that is somebody to look out for. Okay, because you know they're determined. But yeah, it's all about that work ethic, man. It's all about the work ethic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Levi is definitely right. He took the words right out of my mouth because you can have the talent, but without the work ethic, the talent is not really much. You know, so you anything that you want in life, ain't nobody gonna give it to you, you know. I mean, you have to earn it, and you have to be willing to learn. You gotta be willing to fall sometime and fail sometime. You know, wrestling is about taking bumps. So
Yep.
everybody learns at their own pace. You know, it's not about trying to be in competition with nobody else. It's just all about what you bring to the table. Because to be honest, I feel that in the pro wrestling industry, we have to continue to embrace more originality. You know, like to me, I gotta say, Bray Wyatt, that man was a genius to me because he brought something really cool and epic to the pro wrestling world. And that's the kind of stuff I love to see. Like, you know, as well, me and Levi talk all the time about wrestling. Like, you know, whenever God willing that I ever debut my character, I would want to do something a little different, you know, not something that's already been done. You know, don't get me wrong, ain't nothing new under the sun, but it's like, you know, we could be more creative to come up with something just a little different, you know.
For sure. And I see that right now. Go ahead.
Originality. I'm sorry, I mean, go ahead, man.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was saying is that in reference to what Wade is saying, originality is obsolete as of right now.
Yes.
As of right now, originality is not really there. It's there somewhat, but not as much. Okay. You know, I could say the days of comparing people is kind of getting played out a little bit, you know, and, you know, okay, it's okay to say, hey, you kind of remind me of so-and-so back in the day and everything. Okay, that's nice. You know, I'm flattered about that. But the thing is, I'm my own original entity. Okay. We need to not try to be like the next Mike, the next Kobe, or the next, you know, John Cena, the next Hogan, or Stone Cold. You know, there has to be originality. Those guys that had their legacies under their belt, they came up with something original back then and during those eras, and it worked. Okay, so you know, it's okay to you know have some similarities, but you have to come into your own identity. And then it's like at times people just really get tired of seeing the same old thing. You know, people want to see something new, original, something that sticks out. They want to see some spice. You know what I mean? When I mean by spice, that flair. You know, back then, you know, at all the names that I mentioned back then, there was that flair, that moment. You know, it was original. It had that spark, the kick to it, everything. You know, and that a lot of that needs to be brought back. And you know something, I see it with my own God-given eyes because I work with a lot of talent, and it's there. Some people just, you know, how can I put it? Maybe they are given opportunities, but sometimes they're kind of, you know, not given an opportunity. In
I think it's more so that. I agree with Levi because I don't think it's so much that people aren't being original. I think sometimes some of these companies may not allow some of the people to be original because let's be real, these companies are about sales.
Yes.
But I feel like this generation is totally different though, because like, don't get me wrong. When I grew up, you know, it was Stone Cold, The Rock, Booker T, Rikishi, you know, Road Dogg, Kane, Undertaker, you know, Mick Foley, can't leave out Y2J, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, you know. But you look at it like this, that was then. But it's like now it's a different kind of company, which is okay because nothing stays the same forever. But I just hope that it becomes more of a place where they listen to some of these younger people coming in with fresher ideas. Because this a different generation. They're not gonna like the same things we like.
That's what
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
That's what I was gonna say too. Like as far as like TKO, I respect them as a business side, right? But when it comes to like the originality of wrestling, I just don't want them to take too much away to where the avid wrestling fan is like, well, I don't care about this anymore.
Oh
I want them to still keep that, but still apply to like a little bit of nowadays. Like, so them bringing in the actual speed, them bringing in all of these celebrities and whatnot. To be honest, it is genius because you're applying it to a younger audience, and I definitely think that was new and innovative in what they were doing. But I just don't want them to pull too much away. You know what I mean?
Right. And see, Kendall, the thing is that people talk about, well, man, you know, we need to bring back the Attitude Era. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it would be nice, to be honest with you, it would be nice. But here's the thing. We're in a different era now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Certain things worked back in the 1980s. Certain things worked back in the 1990s. Certain things worked in the early 2000s. We're in 2026, damn near 2027.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, I'm just saying, you know, and it's, you know, I mean, we know about the current events. I'm not going to go into detail with that, but the way how things are nowadays, there's certain things that you can do and can't do. So there's rules to it. Now, to say that it can never happen or bring it back to Attitude Era, you know, you never say never. I mean, I could be wrong. You know, they could bring it back, and hey, just like I was back then, it may work today. Okay, but the thing is, you know, in reference to what you're saying about originality, you know, bringing in young guys and, you know, making it into their own. You can mix a combination of old along with new, form it together, and make it something original. Mix old school with new school and make something original. Okay, so you know, again, like oh, I'm sorry, what were we gonna say? Wait.
I was gonna say that's why I appreciate guys like MVP, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, even Brock Lesnar. Like, I love that Brock Lesnar's cowboy Brock, like something different. Like, you know, Brock is a vet, but he kind of came back with a kind of different, persona, sort of kind of like he's still the beast. But you know, he done grew his hair out, he got the cowboy hat, just something different. And like, I love to see kind of like the older generation putting over the next generation. You know, I think that's so important because again, it's a different era, it's a different day. So there's no point in kind of longing for what was, because that's over with. We have to focus on the future. And WWE, AEW, and even some of the indie scene, they have a lot of nice up and coming talent. It's just people have to give them the chance to be more original with their characters and with the way they do things. Because, you know, the past is the past, you know?
And we live in
oh, sorry. I just want to say, just going off of what you said, Wade, the last match between Cena and Gunther, I thought it was brilliant. A lot of people didn't like it, but I loved it because you put a guy like Gunther over, that's the ultimate heel. He's already beaten AJ Styles. He's already beaten, you know, all of the guys like Seth Rollins or all the fan favorites. He's already beaten them. So what you do when he beat Cena and Cena puts him over and being gracious as he was going on the way out, it's one of the most beautiful things in professional sports.
Man, let me tell you something. I commend John Cena for the way he ended, you know, his wrestling career. That was pretty cool that he gave everybody like kind of like that year of just him straight storyline showing up.
Yeah,
I think it was brilliant, you know, and not everybody got to enter the business the same way. Not everybody got to retire the same way. Like, I think it's just all about being original, like doing something a little different than what somebody else did, you know? To me, that's more important than any of it, you know?
The thing is that kayfabe is dead, as you know. Okay. You know what I'm talking about, right, Kendall? With kayfabe. So, kayfabe is pretty much a lost art. The great Bobby Heenan, rest in peace, said it a long time ago in one of his interviews. So we all know that it's not there anymore, and people were like upset when John Cena was getting choked out by Gunther, and they were like, "Why would he smile and stuff?" Well, because they're like, back in the 80s and 90s, he wouldn't have done that, But I mean, let's just face it, everything's out now. Okay, we are in the digital era of social media and everything. And I mean, I'm just keeping it real. It's the truth, man. We are in the digital era of social media, and we're living in a time that, how can I put it, man? It's like when there's something good that's out or that's on its way out or coming or whatever, people are quick nowadays. And if I stand to be corrected, please do. But people nowadays are quick to kill something before it can even start or get out the oven.
That's
you know what I mean?
Expectation. You're right.
Yeah, it wasn't like that back then. It was like, okay, it was be a mystery. Then all of a sudden, it'll manifest itself, and man, it was a lot of great things with it. Whether it's movies, TV shows, sports, whatever. The internet, is the number one killer nowadays. I really hate to say it, but it is what it is.
But you know what?
I remember
that's why I changed. But that's why I changed the narrative. Me and Levi was just talking about this earlier, but that's why when I see the up and coming generation of talent, I don't compare them to those who were before them, because again, everybody is an individual, and you have to give people a chance to gel. You got to give people a chance to develop. Sometimes it takes years for somebody to develop. It doesn't happen overnight. But if people are not given the opportunity, then you won't see them. So I'm all about just seeing people grow. Like I'm gonna build you up before I can tear you down. Like I'm not that type of person trying to compare anybody, because everybody is their own individual.
That's right. It's just like in Hollywood. They said there's no originality. A lot of people said, these podcasters said, there's a lot of great scripts, wonderful scripts out there, but they're not being used, or they're locked away in the vault. They're there, but they're just locked away. And like Wade said, if people are not, being really pushed out there like that, then hey, but I mean, like I said, man, it's a lot of talent, a lot of it out here. We don't know who, but there's always the next big thing that's out here as we speak. So yeah,
and you know what? Like there are quite a few people on the independent scene that I kind of like. Shout out to Isaiah Wolf out of New York. That's a young man. I think, if you don't know him, you ought to check him out. He's doing a phenomenal thing. It's a lot of people. Our boy Jay Thunder, right here from the Midwest, doing this thing. Haven Harris, young lady that trained with us as well. So I give, look, Bombshell Shelly, I give my people their flowers, because that's important to me. It's a world full of talent out here. Like I said, it's just about supporting people, and just when you see people doing something great, support them. You don't gotta wait till the whole world recognize them. Like support them when nobody know who somebody is. I'm supporting all my people.
We need more unity nowadays, because when you looked at hold that thought, Kendall. I'm just gonna say this real quick. Is that Wade said support one another. I was looking at a lot of old 70s, 80s bodybuilding videos with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno on them, and those guys they trained together back then when they did the documentary Pump and Iron. I mean, those guys uplifted one another. Everybody wanted to be great. Okay, Arnold, Lou Ferrigno, all those guys won competition titles, and everybody was supportive of one another. Then they all got into acting and stuff, and to be honest with you, you don't really see too much of that nowadays. That support. And again, I stand to be corrected on that, but it's just that you support one another.
I gotta ask you too. Are there any two current wrestlers in WWE that you both think are doing some epic things?
Yeah. One guy comes to mind, man. I'm gonna say the young OZ, man. I love Javon Evans, bro. I love everything he's doing. Just from his charismatic attitude, from his attire, just by the way he talks. I love the way he talks because he's catering to the younger generation because that's the way they talk. He doesn't do the traditional promo that we see from week to week, but that's okay because you can tell that he's truly being himself. I think that's what I appreciate about him the most.
I like Oba. Oba. Bro, that brother right there is a beast. He is a beast, man. I'm saying he's a monster. That brother right there, nothing but money, gold. Give him time over the years. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I like his persona, the way how he carries himself, in the ring, and I mean, he's when you look at him, and I don't mean to go through the comparison route, but it's kind of like I see a little bit of Vader in him. I see a little bit of Vader in him. Remember Vader?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I see a little bit of that in him, and he's definitely a force right now to be reckoned with.
What about you, Wade? Oh, sorry, my bad, Levi.
No, it's cool. No,
I gotta say yes. I gotta throw Javon Evans in there as well. I think he's a very tremendous young man doing some great things. I also like Oba as well. And again, WWE has like a lot of talented people. I like Gunther. I think Gunther's a phenomenal wrestler. I think he kind of reminds me more of the old school traditional. And you need a little bit of that, So they got quite a few people. I'm glad they brought B-Fab back as well. Shout out to the sister B-Fab, Look, I'm cheering and supporting everybody because look, you never know what people went through to get to where they at. So, I give people their flowers.
Shout out to Bianca Belair, man, for coming back even at WrestleMania and making that big announcement, having a baby. That stuff is beautiful, man. That she had met. She met her life partner through the sport of wrestling, man, and that's a beautiful thing that she can get back on that stage and share it with everybody and the fans who love her. It's very
a special shout out to Jade Cargill. That sister right there, keep on moving on. I mean, she's a tough cookie, and she's definitely another strong force within the industry. So,
and I gotta say, Osiris Griffin, I see some great things in store for that brother. And then of course Jada Parker, everybody loves Jada, right?
Oh man, we can't leave out my boy who's sporting the lemon pepper steppers now. We can't leave out Trick Willie. We can't leave out Trick Willie now.
We were just talking about Trick Willie too.
Bro, he's on his way too, man. He's on his way. What's that talent right now? A lot of great talent, man.
Yes, sir.
So I do got a question too. So we're talking about all of these guys making their way up, making their way through the trials and tribulations of this sport that could be grueling during this time, as we all know. So I want to ask, what does legacy look like to y'all? Because so many of these guys are obviously, they started this business because they were for the, it was for the love. But what does legacy look like to y'all?
Well, for me, legacy is a continuous journey. To me, I look at it as just if you're blessed to do something that you love, like pro wrestling, keep doing it. Whether you're in a mainstream promotion or whether you're in a smaller local promotion, really doesn't make a difference as long as you're doing what you love. Because I know there are a lot of wrestlers who wrestle mainstream and then they went and started back, doing more local stuff. And some people thought that was like a step down, but truly, actually, that's just a continuation of doing what you love. It's not a step down. It's actually, to me, a step up, because think about it like this. Everybody is not going to always stay in the mainstream promotions. It's just like working for a corporation and then maybe going to a smaller business or whatever. But the whole point is that if you're doing what you love, that's all that matters. There's a lot of wrestlers who left mainstream wrestling, stepped on doing stuff on the independent scene, and they're training the next generation. So if you got the information, pass it along. So to me, it's all about doing what you love. It's not about comparing your journey to somebody else. Everybody's journey is their own.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, legacy is just about, besides making it your own, um, you want to like leave an impression, um, basically inspire, but it's like pretty much, in reference to what Wade said about everybody's journey is their own, you know, everybody has their own individual time. Okay, God works with all of us in different ways. It may take Wade, um, you know, um, a year or 5 years to get to where he's at. It may take me 20, 30 years to get to where I need to be at or whatever. It take, you, Kendall, 50 years or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Not literally, but everybody has their own
On time.
time period of blooming. But
Mhm.
pretty much, man, uh, the quote a good friend of me and Wade, you have to enjoy the journey, and when the journey is given to you, you make good use of it, you know,
Yeah.
and you just got to grab life and just hold on to it and take it and make good use of it because um, nobody's gonna sit out here and give you nothing. You have to you get up and just go for it and grab it. Because it's there for you. You just have to go out and get it. Yeah.
I do.
Absolutely.
I do want you guys to just tell me as an indies wrestling fan now, if I'm watching indies, is there anybody that you guys are working with right now for us to keep an eye on?
Sure. I'll tell you. Lulu Lorena, Isaiah Wolf, Big Business Levi, my boy. Of course, Izzy Marino. I'm a fan of hers as well. But like I said, look, I support my people. Jay Thunder, our boy Jay Thunder, Jay Bibbs, our boy Jay. So look, let's support them and let's continue to support them as well as all the other independent wrestlers that are doing great things.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Same thing is pretty much Wade and took it all out of my head and mouth. Jay Biz, Jay Thunder. One of the guys that I started working with early in my career, Jax Johnson, um, Lulu
Lennox.
Lorraine. Yeah. Oh, my man Lennox Leon. Lennox has been in the business for quite some time, and he's been all over. Lennox is a great guy, and definitely give him a shout out. And it's pretty much a lot of great other great people out there. So, you know, pretty much everybody that's within the Chicagoland area. You know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And before we go, man, Wade, there's nothing you can give us off that documentary, man. A little exclusive, or
Well,
I ain't gonna push it too much though.
we do have Boz, the guy that trained us as well in there. So I'm always honor Boz because he's the brother that brought me into the business. So again, I'm a person that I salute and I thank God for everybody who has been a part of my journey. Although, like I said, I trained for 2 years and I did it as a hobby. I didn't do it to try to go mainstream and nothing like that. And I think that's okay. That's what I wanted to do. It's not about me trying to build up a fan base. It was just, me just going on a little adventure. But I'm always be appreciative to Boz. But it's coming soon, God willing. So be on the lookout.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all heard it here first on Tables, Arts, and Pod. So before we get on up out of here, I want to share a quick story too. My cousin, I don't know if I told you this last time, but I had a cousin that wrestled here in Ohio for HWA. I'm not sure if y'all are aware of that promotion, but his trainer was named Cody Hawk. He was trained by Cody Hawk. And John Moxley first started off, he was trained by John Moxley for a long time.
Okay.
And I didn't know who this guy was when I first met him. He looks at me instead of my cousin. He says, "Oh, are you here to train?" I'm like, "Hey, nah, man, I'm scared to wrestle. Like, I'm a fan." He's like, "Man, you're big, man. You should get in there and you should wrestle." I'm like, "Hey, man, look, if God willing, yeah, man, I'll try to do it and see what it brings me." But man, I respect what y'all do so much, man. From the training, from the managers, I respect it, man. Even with me not being in the ring, I've seen it up close, and it's like it gets real in the field. I see it gets real, man. So I definitely respect what y'all do. We appreciate y'all, man. I don't want this to be the last time we talk. Bring your boys through, your guys that you mentioned. Bring them through. Tables, Arts, and Pod, man. And I love to talk to them. We get have a good round table talk.
Most definitely. Well, matter of fact, we'll make that a plan in the near future.
For sure. I definitely want everybody out here to check out this episode. You know what I mean? Run the numbers up, please, because whenever these guys are on here, we definitely do numbers. We definitely, we definitely get the people hopping and jumping and looking at the promotion, the episodes, all of that. So definitely run it up, please. You know what I mean? I try my best. So please, man, we only put the best on. I do want to thank you guys, man. Wade and Levi, man, for coming to Tables, Arts, and Pod today, man. I definitely appreciate y'all.
Anytime.
You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all for trusting me to give y'all an interview. It always is.
No problem, man. We just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to be on the show and just putting us out there, man. It's really it's really meaningful.
Man. Love, and for sure, because it's like I know y'all could have went anywhere, you know what I mean, and went and talked and went to a different interview and stuff like that. But y'all blessing me. Hey, y'all real. Y'all appreciate y'all for that, man.
We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you.
Sure. So before we get on up out of here, is there anything motivational speech or anything that you can give to people in life, like a motivational quote that you live by, or just anything, just so they can hear something great, man?
Yeah. I'll start off by saying that, as my grandmother used to always tell me, number one, never let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Okay. Whatever goals, desires, or anything that God puts in your heart or whatever, or anything that you're doing, you keep it to yourself. Don't let people distract you, because nowadays everybody's telling the next person what they can and can't do.
Yep.
Only you know what you can do. God has put that gift within you to apply it. So Just work hard at it. And number one, keep God in your heart. But just have that hunger and that desire. Going back to that mama, but mentality of the work ethic and to stay on track. Yep.
Well, I got three things that I always like to leave everybody with. The first one is always keep God first, because without Him, we would be nowhere or anything. And then secondly, remember, life isn't fair, but it's what you make it. And then last, if opportunity don't knock, go ahead and build that door.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Well spoken. Well spoken. That has been another hot episode, y'all. Table Waters and Pod. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Tune in next week. Same hot time, same hot year, same hot day. Straight like that. Catch y'all later.